Hello, everyone. I'm Caitlin Lacey, and I lead the emerging platforms team at Meta. We are at the beginning of the next chapter of the internet, and it's the next chapter for our company, too. On October 28th at Connect, Mark Zuckerberg introduced our new company name, Meta, which brings together all our apps and technologies under one new company brand. Meta marks our commitment to bringing the metaverse to life and helping people connect, find communities, and grow businesses over the next decade. We develop technology rooted in human connection that brings people together. And as we focus on helping to build the next computing platform, our work across augmented and virtual reality and consumer hardware will deepen that human connection regardless of physical distance and without being tied to devices. Perhaps no surprise to this group, but many people are asking, what is the metaverse anyway? How will we use it? And what does it actually mean for me? This is about making what we do online better and more meaningful. It will enhance the feeling of being close to one another, regardless of physical distance, like teleporting a friend or family member into your living room, even if they're on the other side of the world. And what I will be chatting about with you today is critical to building this vision. So with that, let's get started. People tend to think of the future as a story of technology, but the truth is that the future is and always will be a story about people. We've been augmenting reality since the beginning of time. In the past, when we needed to mark a location, we did it with rocks. Now, and in the future, we can use AR overlays to tell us where to go or where not to. AR is simply a layer of information superimposed on the physical world. And in this instance, maybe it's saying something like, beware, steep hike ahead. Our fundamental human needs rarely change, but the way that we address them does, as we develop, evolve, and embrace new technologies. And many people are skeptical, believing that AR and VR have been hyped for years. What's different now? Skepticism is natural. When the bicycle was invented, plenty of people said that it's just a fad. The car, they called it impractical. And the poor laptop was declared an illusion that was dead, according to the New York Times in 1985. But here we are in 2021, and I'm talking to you too, my laptop. So what's going on? Well, technology takes time to develop, to reach its pinnacle. And in its evolutionary youth, the laptop was perhaps slow, heavy, clunky. Only when it got the right frame, battery, processor, etc., did it actually suddenly become worth toting around. Now, fast forward to today, where the smartphone has become our key computing platform. And we love our smartphones. We feel incomplete when we lose them. But it doesn't. But doesn't it sometimes feel like the device that's supposed to connect us is often coming between us? Or that we almost have to choose whether to be present with our phones or present with the people around us? We believe that there's a more natural way to engage with the world. And in the not too distant future, we see it changing everything. Imagine a pair of glasses with style and substance that are so intuitive, we don't even think about the fact that we're wearing them. We don't see them. We see a richer world through them. That is the North Star for AR and VR. We'll be able to feel present with the people around us and get the information that we need. A world with fewer distractions, where the best interface is no interface, and our tech fades into the background, allowing us to show up and be truly present. Now, while we're not there yet, we have reached a pivotal moment in the story of AR and VR. But you don't have to take my word for it. Let's see some numbers. Here, we're looking at anticipated global spending across AR and VR, hardware and software, enterprise and consumer. Other estimates are even higher, but the trend is the same: explosive growth, acceleration in the years to come, and it all starts now. But perhaps you're wondering why, or why now? Like all good stories, there are multiple characters here. First, the foundation, the sheer scale. The world is simply more equipped when it comes to AR and VR than ever before. For AR, I'm sure you know that if you have a smartphone, then you have access to AR. And that's over 3.3 billion people around the world and growing. On the VR front, the headset user base is lower, but it's growing. For example, in the US, where I'm based, 1 in 5 internet users are using VR monthly. And people in VR continue to grow thanks to new form factors like all-in-one devices, no computer required, all at increasingly affordable prices. It's transformational. Add the arrival of 5G, and the benefits of AR and VR become more clear and more widely experienced. But what about the people creating and consuming this content? For the past few years, consumer expectations of brands have been evolving to be more interactive and more seamless across the online and offline worlds. Then with the pandemic, people developed both a deeper appreciation for connection and an openness to connecting in new ways. Finally, as more consumers enter the metaverse, it makes more developers want to build in AR and VR. And in fact, in 2020, we saw a report that revealed that the hiring of AR and VR developers grew a whopping 1,400%. We realized the depth of this shift in looking at our own community on Facebook. On Facebook around the world, people have been increasingly searching for AR and VR content, joining groups related to AR and VR, and even messaging more sellers about AR and VR listings on Facebook Marketplace. This is full funnel evidence. But we see growing interest in AR and VR taking hold around the world, not just in mature markets, but in emerging markets too, often more strongly. And finally, looking at Facebook groups related to AR and VR applications, it reveals just how far we've come. While the old story for VR is that it was only about gaming, a much richer tapestry is emerging. We're seeing the growth of groups related to art and creativity, education and learning, health and fitness. So perhaps it's no surprise that in just a year and a half, 75% of business leaders predict that they'll be using AR and VR in some capacity. Last year in 2020, that number was just 40%. But you don't have to look that far out to see the potential impact and wealth of opportunity in AR and VR coming to life. What we know today is that fitness is becoming more accessible, with the gym coming to you. Working out is both fun and lets you play in some of the coolest places on earth. Too good to be true? It's real and supernatural. The treatment of rare diseases becomes even more accessible to surgeons with VR. And working from anywhere feels closer than ever. The real superpower of AR and VR is what they make possible, or rather, how they are redefining what possible is. AR is already adding value all over the funnel, accelerating consumer journeys. Hyundai sparked discovery and excitement around a new car. BMG Music invited Kylie Minogue fans to dance at the disco with her. Made enticed potential new customers to try new furniture in their space. And Facebook recruiting not only brought in potential new candidates, but they started a conversation with them through AR. As you can see, we're very passionate about the reality and the potential here. But we also know that seeing, or rather feeling, is believing. So we've partnered with Pixel Chefs in South Africa to take you on a little adventure. Why don't you hold up your mobile phone's camera to the QR code and see where we go? Once you're on Instagram, you'll have to tap on the globe to start the experience. Now, the VR story is just being written, with so much growth to come. But let's just look at all of the different ways that it's already showing up in the world. It's for entertainment, education, health, retail, even marketing, from training simulations to storytelling to story living. These are just 4 ways into the creative expressions of virtual reality: stories, games, experiences, and simulations. We are seeing these expressions across a variety of applications. Initially, just gaming and entertainment dominated VR. But stories and education are driving incredible training in classrooms and corporations. Healthcare is providing therapy and healing, like the Walk Again Project. And there are tools being built for productivity and collaboration for coworkers. Now, the reason why we care so much goes back to our mission: bringing people and the world closer together. But the future doesn't build itself. It takes people with vision, boldness, and determination. It takes people to build for that North Star in which AR and VR merge and just work as you need them to. We believe in this so much that we founded Reality Labs. Reality Labs research puts together world-class teams of researchers, developers, engineers to create the future of AR and VR, which together will become as universal and essential as the smartphone and personal computers are today, changing how we work, play, and connect. We're developing all the technologies needed to create breakthrough AR glasses and VR headsets, including optics and displays, computer vision, audio, graphics, brain-computer interface, haptic interaction, full body tracking, perception science, and true telepresence. And while our mission guides what we build, our responsible innovation principles guide how we build. There are 4 of them. Never surprise people means being transparent about how our products work and the data they collect. Providing controls means building in a way that puts people in charge of their experience. Consider Everyone is about building products that are inclusive of our diverse global community. And putting people first guides how we decide what's right for our business. We always prioritize what's best for most people in the community. You know the 5 P's of marketing? I think that forward-thinking marketers will want to consider a 6th P in the future. That is presence. And we've started to lay out a 3-stage framework for how you might get started on your journey of spatial transformation and make your presence known. First, discover. Pick an objective and decide whether AR or VR represents the best path forward for your business and for your customers. If interaction and relative reach are most important, maybe AR is right for you. If immersion and depth of experience are the goal, then perhaps consider VR. It's all about your objective. Find a great Spark AR partner or Oculus developer to help you explore and unlock the magic of AR and VR. Start small by giving yourself time to experiment. A key question to ask is, what can I do with AR or VR that was previously impossible? Finally, transform. Change starts at home. So organize and empower your teams to own the AR and VR innovation within your business. While not everything will work, something could change the potential of our industry and the world. Thank you for your time.